Gotta get him. Twisters. Okay, bosses are dead. Let's finish strong. Twisters. Here we go. Here we go. Who's left? Who's left? Oh my god. Here we go. Are we done? Yes! Complete. 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 Alright folks, it's Jordan Tales again, and I wanted to give everybody a little bit of an update on the Stunlock Trinity Tactician build. Video that I posted a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago. So at this point, the build is pretty much complete. I did make the changes that I wanted to make to accommodate cast and crit on the build. As you saw in the introduction video, uh, something that was a little bit of a happy accident was that the build was amazing at Simulacrum farm, and I didn't even intend that. The only reason I discovered that was that I did the initial Simulacrum just to get the first 2 points, and I noticed that I completed it very easily. Uh, I was like, whoa, like this feels a little bit too easy. So I kept bumping up the difficulty and figured out that uh, while the damage is not spectacular, the amount of crowd control that it provides is enough to offset any of the issues that 99% of the builds encounter in that uh, in that content. So because this build is so strong at that type of content, um, I think it's up there as far as like a viability uh, for people to use, and it gives an underused class or ascendancy some time in the spotlight. I also want to show that uh, other types of max difficulty pinnacle content are possible. So here's a clip of T5 Olroth. As you can see, the damage is not spectacular, but it's also not bad. So there you have it. I've also done the max difficulty chest. Uh, I haven't done the last one for the King of the Mist. I've done him on all the characters, but not on this one. So far, I've done the uh, +4 difficulty on the King of the Mist. Uh, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to do it quite easily with this version of the build. I just haven't uh, got around to trying it yet. But at this point, uh, all all Pinnacle content uh, except the Bringer of Ash is complete, and that's just because the keys are so hard to get and so expensive. I don't want to waste money on that because I'm saving up for a different build. Anyway, so here's the changes that I did. As I said on the last video, I wanted to replace, or I wanted to accommodate cast and crit on the build to be able to consistently generate frenzy charges. Uh, but the problem with that is I needed to get 133 intelligence, and that was really hard to get while using Coming Calamity as a chest base. So I got rid of that, and the best chess piece replacement that made sense for me was uh, Harry's Ire, and the main reason for that was the ability to get acrobatics uh, on top of the character, just to uh, help minimize the window for error for the build. So now, because I can dodge slams and area of effect hits, it makes it so that I can make a little bit more mistakes and still be fine. It reduced the amount of times I die by a lot. That's the main reason. The secondary reason was it's got some flat damage on it, and uh, as much flat damage as you can get is always good on the build. Another change that I made was because I lost Comic Calamity as a resistance uh, mitigation or the penetration method, I had to swap my amulet to Beacon of Assist to be able to still get past the resistances. If you cannot find a way to do this, uh, Pinnacle content is gonna be pretty much impossible to do. Your damage is gonna take a severe hit because they do have a lot of resistance, all of them. And because I lost those two items that were generating me resistance and levels on my skills, I had to find the rest of the resistance and everything else. So I had to drop the array buckler, which was giving me a huge boost in damage. I dropped that, and I just got a good base shield to get me some of that lost life and get me some of that resistance back, so I could still be maxed out on resistances. Um, so I got this one. Provides a high level evasion. Funny side note, I am effectively immune to all ailments uh, because of, because I have a 10,000 plus something else uh, ailment threshold. So even when I click on a strong box that freezes you on click, I still don't get frozen, which is hilarious. Um, so I switched those three things. Um, I was using some different gloves at first, but I noticed that it wasn't triggering Trinity, so I went back and put these back on, which further hit my life and resistances. So I really had to switch some items around. Like I had to switch my boots just to be able to cover all the stats and resistance requirements. That's the main hardship that you're gonna find, is trying to figure out how to get uh, the attributes right and how to get the resistances right. And once you can figure that out, then you gotta make sure you have high flat on the rings, and either an ingenuity or a belt that has enough resistances on it that allows you to get some extra damage somewhere else, maybe in the offhand or in the gloves. Uh, so that's the changes I made. Uh, as far as the skill tree remains the same, pretty much. I got a little bit more critical bonus, and I'm not sure where I'm gonna go next. But at this point, the build is complete, so it doesn't really matter that much. I am now only using explosive spear to detonate storm lances. Works a lot better than the leap, a lot faster, and it actually improves the DPS quite a bit. Uh, Another change is obviously we have cast and critical. Uh, it makes our generation while bossing pretty much infinite. And then one thing that I did add that works as a basically as a frost nova is Twister, and I don't use Twister to deal damage. I use Twister to with salvo to basically fire fire a 360 coverage of stun around me, and this works perfect for Simulacrum because the main issue with that content is that uh, all these you have all these enemies coming at you from all directions, and many builds can deal tens of millions of damage per second, but that damage is kind of focused on a certain area of the screen. So it doesn't matter how much damage you can deal if you can't deal with all these enemies coming at you and stun locking you. You're pretty much toast. So I I used the fact that I knew I was stunning them instantly with anything. Well, I said, okay, let's find something that can hit all around me and just keep hitting all around me for a prolonged period of time. And Twister is perfect for that. It just covers the screen with stuns and lets me focus on what I need to focus on that fight to be able to complete it relatively easily. You can still get unlucky and get two rares with mana drain or whatever, or the special version of mana drain on both ends of the screen, and you can still die like that. But anybody can die like that. So uh, on a normal average run, you'll be able to easily farm it, and you don't have to go all the way up in difficulty. You can even keep it on the original one. It's still, if you can complete that content, is a great farm for items and money. uh, the waves often drop the vines as well. Uh, so that's pretty much all the significant changes that we did on the build. At this point, I'm pretty happy with where we're at. The fact that we can farm one of the hardest content in the game for consistent profit makes this time investment definitely worth it. And it wasn't even intended, but it's definitely worth it. So uh, now that you've seen the proof, now that you've seen it with your own eyes, hopefully you get motivated to give it a try, and maybe we can bump our mercenary numbers up because we're still sitting in 1%. So I would like us to be more represented out there, uh, as opposed to some of the other ascendancies. Well, with that being said, I want to keep this short. I appreciate you checking this out, and we'll see you around in the in raid class. Peace.